Welcome to Sleep Time. My name is Alex Thompson, and it's my pleasure to be the voice you listen to as you fall gently asleep. Tonight, we'll take a peaceful journey aboard the night train to Paris, gliding through tranquil landscapes under a blanket of stars. But before we begin our story, let's take a moment for a little relaxation. Let's start by settling into a comfortable position. Whether you're lying in bed or resting in your favorite chair, find a posture that feels just right for you. Now gently close your eyes and bring your attention inward, away from the busyness of the world around you. Take a deep breath in through your nose, slowly, and let it fill your lungs. Hold it for a moment, and now exhale softly through your mouth. Let's do that again. Inhale deeply, feeling the air expand your chest and belly, and exhale, releasing any tension you might be holding. Let's repeat this a few more times, allowing each breath to bring you a little closer to calmness. As you continue to breathe, begin to notice the rhythm of your body. Feel the gentle rise and fall of your chest, the subtle beating of your heart, the stillness within you that begins to grow with each passing moment. Now, let's bring our attention to the muscles in your body. Start with your face. Relax your forehead, letting any tightness melt away. Soften your eyes, your cheeks, and your jaw. Let your lips rest gently, neither smiling nor frowning, just at ease. Now move down to your shoulders. Notice if they're tense or hunched, and allow them to drop naturally, feeling them sink closer to the surface beneath you. Let go of any weight you might be carrying here. Next, shift your focus to your arms. Feel the relaxation spreading from your shoulders, down through your biceps, your elbows, and all the way to your fingertips. Your arms are heavy now, completely at rest. Bring your awareness to your chest and your abdomen. With each breath, feel the expansion of your chest and the way your belly rises and falls. Let go of any tightness or tension here. Imagine a warm, calming sensation spreading through your torso, soothing you with every breath. Now, let's move to your legs. Starting with your hips, feel the relaxation flowing down through your thighs, your knees, your calves, and finally, to your feet. Feel the heaviness in your legs, as though they are sinking deeper into your mattress or chair. Finally, bring your attention to your whole body. From the top of your head to the tips of your toes, imagine a wave of calm washing over you. Feel it enveloping you, cradling you in comfort and peace. As you rest here, notice how your breaths are becoming softer and more natural, as though your body is breathing on its own, effortlessly and peacefully. You are safe, you are calm, and this moment is yours to simply be. Take a few more quiet breaths here. There's no rush, no need to do anything except relax. Let go of any lingering thoughts from the day. Imagine them floating away like clouds, leaving your mind clear and open. Now that your body and mind are at ease, you're ready to begin tonight's journey. Let's board the night train to Paris and let its gentle rhythm guide you into a deep, restful sleep. The night train to Paris. The night was cloaked in a veil of mystery, the air cool and crisp. In the distance, the faint whistle of a train echoed, a haunting melody that seemed to beckon travelers from far and wide. The rhythmic clatter of wheels on tracks grew louder, a steady heartbeat in the stillness of the night. Our protagonist, a solitary figure, stood on the platform, their breath visible in the chilly air. This journey was unplanned, a spontaneous decision driven by an unexplainable urge. Paris, the city of light, called to them with an irresistible pull, a magnetic force that defied logic and reason. The platform was nearly deserted, shrouded in a fine mist that lent an otherworldly glow to the scene. The air was cool, and the faint scent of rain lingered. The train stood before the traveler, its vintage design impeccably preserved. It seemed almost too perfect, its windows glowing faintly, casting a warm, inviting light. It felt timeless, as though it could exist in any era. A peculiar conductor, dressed in an old-fashioned uniform, stepped forward. His eyes, deep and knowing, seemed to hold stories untold. Without a word, he handed the traveler a ticket, not asking for payment. "Your journey awaits," he said cryptically, his voice a soft murmur that sent a shiver down the traveler's spine. Inside, the train was impossibly luxurious. Red velvet seats lined the aisles, their plush cushions inviting the traveler to sink into their embrace. Intricate brass fixtures adorned the walls, gleaming softly in the dim light. The faint scent of lavender filled the air, a soothing fragrance that mingled with the underlying sense of mystery. Yet, there was something slightly unsettling about the train. It felt as though it held secrets of its own, whispering them just out of reach. The traveler settled into a seat, their fingers brushing against the smooth velvet. The train's gentle motion began, and the journey continued, deeper into the night and toward the unknown. The train pulled away from the station with a smooth, almost eerie silence. The rhythmic clatter of the wheels began soon after, a soothing yet hypnotic sound that filled the carriage. The traveler gazed out the window, watching as the platform disappeared into the mist, replaced by the dark, rolling landscape. As the train sped through the night, the traveler began to notice strange details. Reflections in the window didn't quite match their movements, lingering a moment too long or shifting in ways that defied explanation. Whispers echoed in the corridor, soft and indistinct, fading away whenever the traveler turned to look. The landscape outside was hauntingly beautiful. Dark forests loomed, their branches swaying gently in the breeze. Rolling hills bathed in moonlight stretched out as far as the eye could see. Faintly glowing lights dotted the distance, seeming to follow the train as it wound its way through the countryside. Other passengers were present, but they remained quiet, their faces shadowed or turned away. They felt more like ghosts than fellow travelers, their presence adding to the eerie atmosphere. The traveler couldn't shake the feeling that they were being watched, that the train itself was alive with secrets. Despite the unsettling sensations, there was a strange comfort in the journey. The train's motion was steady and reassuring, a constant amidst the unknown. The traveler settled deeper into their seat, curiosity mingling with a sense of anticipation. What lay ahead in Paris? What mysteries would be revealed? The night wore on, the train carrying its passengers ever closer to their destination. The traveler closed their eyes, letting the rhythmic clatter of the wheels lull them into a state of relaxed vigilance. The journey had only just begun, and already it promised to be unlike any other. As the train continued its journey through the night, the traveler decided to explore. The corridors were dimly lit, the soft glow of the lamps casting long shadows that seemed to dance with the motion of the train. The whispers they'd heard earlier seemed to grow louder, more distinct, yet still just out of reach. Drawn by a sense of curiosity, the traveler made their way to the dining car. It was a grand space, with tables draped in white linen and set with fine china. The air was filled with the faint scent of lavender, mingling with the aroma of freshly brewed coffee and baked pastries. The traveler took a seat at an empty table, their eyes scanning the room. It was then that they noticed an enigmatic fellow traveler seated at a table nearby. This person seemed oddly familiar, though the traveler couldn't place them. The stranger's eyes met theirs, and a knowing smile played on their lips. They gestured for the traveler to join them. "Good evening," the stranger said, their voice smooth and melodic. "I see you've embarked on quite the journey." The traveler nodded, feeling a strange sense of déjà vu. "Yes, it's been interesting so far." The stranger leaned in, their eyes twinkling with a hint of mischief. "Sometimes the journey reveals what we've forgotten," they said cryptically. "Paris holds many secrets, and perhaps some answers for you." Before the traveler could respond, the stranger stood up, their movements graceful and fluid. "Enjoy the rest of your journey," they said, disappearing into the shadows of the corridor. Left alone in the dining car, the traveler noticed an old newspaper left behind on the table. The headline caught their eye: "Mysterious disappearance on night train to Paris. Decades-old mystery remains unsolved." The date on the newspaper was from many years ago, yet the story felt eerily relevant. The traveler felt a chill run down their spine. What had the stranger meant? And why did this journey feel so familiar? The question swirled in their mind as they made their way back to their compartment, the newspaper clutched tightly in their hand. Back in their compartment, the traveler found a moment of solace. The plush red velvet seat was a comforting embrace, but the sense of unease lingered. They glanced around the compartment, taking in the intricate brass fixtures and the soft glow of the lamps. Everything seemed perfectly in place, yet there was an underlying feeling that something was amiss. As they settled in, the traveler noticed an object on the small table by the window, a vintage postcard of Paris. It was old, the edges worn and the image slightly faded. Turning it over, they found a handwritten note. "You're closer than you think." The words sent a shiver down their spine. Who had left it there? And what did it mean? The train continued its journey, the rhythmic clatter of the wheels a constant companion. The traveler tried to relax, but their mind was racing. They decided to investigate further, stepping out into the corridor. The train felt different now, quieter, colder, and somehow emptier. The air was thick with an unspoken tension. As they walked down the corridor, the traveler noticed that it seemed to stretch on endlessly, looping back on itself. The sound of footsteps echoed faintly behind them, but when they turned around, no one was there. The whispers they'd heard earlier were now louder, more insistent, but still just out of reach. Determined to uncover the truth, the traveler pressed on. They passed compartment after compartment, each one seemingly identical to the last. The sense of déjà vu grew stronger with each step. It was as if the train was playing tricks on them, leading them in circles. Finally, they reached a door at the end of the corridor. It was different from the others, larger, more ornate, with intricate carvings that seemed to tell a story of their own. The traveler hesitated for a moment before pushing it open. Inside, the room was dimly lit, the air thick with the scent of lavender. The walls were lined with old books, their spines worn and titles faded. In the center of the room stood a large antique desk, and behind it, a figure shrouded in shadows. The figure looked up, their eyes meeting the travelers. "Welcome," they said, their voice a soft murmur that seemed to echo in the stillness. "I've been expecting you." The traveler felt a chill run down their spine. "Who are you?" they asked. their voice barely above a whisper. The figure smiled, a knowing glint in their eyes. "I am the keeper of the train's secrets," they said. "And you, my dear traveler, are about to uncover the truth." Just as the tension peaked, the train emerged from the tunnel into the early morning light. The mist that had shrouded the journey began to clear, revealing the breathtaking sight of Paris on the horizon. The Eiffel Tower sparkled in the distance, and the Seine glimmered under the first rays of dawn. The city seemed to awaken slowly, its beauty unfolding like a well-kept secret. The traveler felt a deep sense of déjà vu, as though they had been here before, even though they hadn't, or so they thought. The familiar landmarks, the scent of fresh pastries wafting through the air, and the distant hum of the city all felt strangely comforting. As the train approached the station, the traveler noticed a final note in their pocket, written in elegant handwriting. "Welcome home." The words resonated deeply, stirring memories that felt just out of reach. Who had left these notes, and what did they mean by home? The train slowed to a gentle stop, and the traveler gathered their belongings, stepping off onto the platform. The air was filled with the sounds of the waking city, birds chirping, distant conversations, and the soft rumble of traffic. The traveler took a deep breath, feeling both awe and an unshakable sense of purpose. They glanced back at the train, but it had already vanished, leaving behind only the faint scent of lavender and the sound of a distant whistle. The traveler stood there for a moment, absorbing the surreal experience. The journey had been mysterious and unsettling, yet it had led them to this moment of clarity. With a newfound sense of determination, the traveler walked into the waking city, ready to uncover the mystery that had brought them here. Paris, with all its secrets and wonders, awaited them. The adventure was far from over. It had only just begun. The traveler stepped off the train and onto the platform, the cool morning air a refreshing contrast to the warmth of the train. They took a moment to absorb their surroundings. Paris was just beginning to wake up, the first light of dawn casting a golden hue over the city. The Eiffel Tower stood tall in the distance, a beacon of the adventure that lay ahead. As they walked through the station, the traveler felt a sense of familiarity with each step. The bustling sounds of the city, the aroma of freshly baked bread from nearby boulangeries, and the sight of Parisians starting their day all felt like pieces of a puzzle falling into place. It was as if they had been here before, in another time, another life. The traveler reached into their pocket and pulled out the final note. "Welcome home." The words resonated deeply, stirring memories that were just out of reach. They felt a connection to this city, a sense of belonging that defied explanation. With a deep breath, the traveler stepped out of the station and into the heart of Paris. The streets were alive with the energy of a new day, and the traveler felt a renewed sense of purpose. They were ready to uncover the mystery that had brought them here, to explore the secrets that Paris held. As they walked through the city, the traveler couldn't help but feel that they were being guided by an unseen hand. The familiar landmarks, the hidden alleyways, and the unexpected encounters all seemed to lead them closer to the truth. They felt a sense of anticipation, knowing that the answers they sought were just around the corner. The journey had been mysterious and unsettling, but it had also been a journey of discovery and revelation. The traveler had been drawn to Paris by an unexplainable force, and now they were ready to embrace whatever lay ahead. The city of light had welcomed them home, and the adventure was far from over. With each step, the traveler felt a sense of excitement and wonder. Paris was a city of secrets and surprises, and they were ready to uncover them all. The journey had only just begun, and the traveler was eager to see where it would lead.